information was. It's coming from the NANOOS website, and really appreciating the fact that that information comes to us because of a huge collaborative effort to combine a lot of space age information so we can go catch our fish, and it's pretty cool. And I'm going to let Rachel do that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Am I on? Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, but I cannot see.
I'm pretty good at projecting too.
No,
so
look at you crank that.
people don't generally have problems hearing me. Yeah. Hello, hello. I did throw it across the room too, so that probably wasn't helpful. Better? Yeah. Better?
I can hear you back here.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me back there? A little more?
Okay.
A little more.
A little more? A little more? Nope. I heard that. Perfect. Yeah. Damn number. Well, thank you, Ray. Thanks you guys for having me. Always look forward to this event and being able to connect with you and learn about your data needs and try to get all of the information we have available into your hands so you can get out safely, catch fish, and come home. So yeah, my name is Rachel. I'm a researcher at the University of Washington Applied Physics Lab. I am with NANOOS, the Northwest Association of Networked Ocean Observing Systems. I have a table over, come and see me afterwards if you have questions, and you can actually use this, and I can walk you through some things and get some one-on-one, hands-on material, and practice with the tools. So, let's see if I can, there we go. So NANOOS, we are part of a national organization funded mostly by NOAA to make ocean data accessible. NANOOS is the Pacific Northwest region of this, so this is Oregon, Washington. We also have data in British Columbia, but anywhere you go in the US, it has a regional association with the same type of data products available. We have a lot of different types of data, a lot of different user groups, and so we spend a lot of time working with individual communities to find out about their data needs because we have just thousands and thousands of data streams available, and it's a lot of information that can get kind of confusing to navigate through, so we're constantly trying to work with people to find out about what they need and how to best serve you and get you the information you need. So we run a number of buoys. This is one of my buoys off the coast of Washington, La Push. It's 11 miles off the coast of La Push. We collect data from our own buoys, but we also collect data from different instruments around the region from many different partners. So we are a network of ocean data. So the power of this is that we're able to collect data, thousands of data streams from hundreds of different organizations and make it all available in one place for free online. So we have data from NOAA, from universities, from shellfishers, the little instruments at the end of the pier, all of this information available in one place. And we have the real-time data. We develop data products based on what you need, and also model forecasts, all in one place. So it's all available for free online. Just go to our website, nanoos.org. This is data that is being collected either by the federal government, so it's money that, or it's data that your taxes are already paying for. This data is already available, but also data that's being collected by oceanographers for other reasons, and we're just trying to make it accessible. That's what we're charged with doing. So if you go to our website, there's a lot of good information, but mainly what I'm talking about here is how to access the data and how to use the data. So go to the NANOOS visualization system, just click that button, and it will take you to this screen. It might be a little hard to see, but there's a few different web-based applications. So this is a tool that's best used ahead of time for planning purposes. You need Wi-Fi, you need bandwidth. It's best visualized on a larger screen, a tablet, or a laptop. You can access it if you have internet on your phone, but it's so much information. I'll show you, it's kind of hard to make sense. It's not optimal on your phone. So it's best to look at this day or two before you're heading out and look and see what conditions are gonna be. So like I said, there's just a ton of information. We have a data explorer, which is sort of the kitchen sink. That's where all of the different data that we collect can be found. But to make things easier for specific communities, we've developed these user-specific applications. And so that has the data that we have heard from your community that you need. So I'm going to talk to you about the Fishers app. This is the information that we've worked for 15 years, I think, a long time. We've been around for 22 years. And we developed this specific application with tuna fishers. We have had a lot of workshops over the years, doing engagement at events like this, and so we've been able to work really closely with fishers and learn about what data you need and how to help you catch fish and get home safe. So just click that, and this is what pops up. You can also go straight to this URL. All of this information, like I said, there's no paywall, there's no login, it's all available. Just go to that website, and all of this data is available right there for you. So it has a lot of different features, and I'm gonna walk you through real briefly some of the different features and capabilities. And then if you wanna dive in and play around with it, come and see me at my booth over in the corner. And I've got a monitor and a laptop set up, and you can play around with it. And also, if you guys have questions throughout, just raise your hand. Happy to answer them throughout. Yeah?
Yesterday, when the fellow was talking about ocean crabbing,
Yeah.
he talked about something on your site that we show with
The bottom oxygen concentration, I'm going to show you how to access that. Yep, don't worry. All right, so when you open the app, it opens up with this specific overlay open by default. This is sea surface temperature and surface currents within the temperature range for tuna. We developed this app specifically for tuna fishers years ago, but as we've done more and more of this engagement, we've learned, about other needs for salmon fishing, for crabbing, and so we put it all in one place, but it still opens by default for tuna, because that's the main users, the main thing. So this is what opens up automatically. It's winter right now, so it's kind of boring, but normally you'll see some reds and blues and some swirls and eddies, and this gives you the temperature within that really specific temperature range that's optimal for tuna. They like to feed at specific temperatures, and then this is what pops up. So, and you can zoom in and out. This is based on Google Maps, so you can use it just like you would Google Maps. You can move throughout the map, you can zoom in, get higher resolution on those surface currents. You can also, oh yeah, there. So this is the water temperature and currents for tuna. Something else you can do, if you click water temperature, click the legend down here. We have this new capability that offers a dynamic range, so you can fit range to data. Click that, and it's going to give you a higher resolution depending on what the temperature range is. So that will just change the range. It might not be the optimal tuna range, but it can give you a better sense of where those eddies are. Yeah?
Yeah, hi Rachel.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, do you have a chart that will go to show the green and blue water line?
Oh, you know what? Not yet. That would be really interesting. I bet that we could, knowing, we'd have to pull in some other things with the chlorophyll, but that would be really interesting. Are you gonna swing by later? We can add that. Okay, swing by, we'll add that as a potential, yeah. So again, thank you very much. Really helpful to hear about ideas that you guys have, things that would help you. I'm not out, unfortunately, I'm not out on the water fishing for tuna as much as I might like to be. So I need to hear from you guys about what data products would help you. So that's, I really need to go out there. I know, I think I need some boat time and some fishing to find out and do my job better. But that's really helpful. So this is new capabilities. So again, we have a team of people at NANOOS that is constantly working based on feedback, based on what we hear from you to make these products better. So we're always making updates and changes to this, trying to get new data streams, new data products, new capabilities, anything to make it easier for you to access and use this information. Another thing is hover over the map. Anywhere you hover your mouse over the map, you get the actual variable, so you get the current speed and direction and the water temperature at that location. So you don't have to guesstimate based on the legend, you just hover and you'll get the actual variable at that location. Yeah?
And the latitude, longitude.
Thank you. Yes, anywhere you hover on the map, the lat and long will be shown up here. And then the way that,
Sorry, are you able to put, like waypoint marks or whatever? Pins
you
in?
can, yeah, that's using this route capability, which I think I have a slide to show you how to do that. And the way that you use this is there's this timeline down at the bottom, and each one of these little blue dots, that's a different hour, and so you can select the day and time that you're interested in, and the map will change accordingly. It'll show you what the forecasted water temperature and currents or whatever you're looking at for that day and time. So utilize that timeline at the bottom. So we have, this was specifically for tuna, using that temperature range that's optimal for tuna. As we've done this work and talking with people, there's also a temperature range for salmon. They get really stressed out outside of a narrow temperature range. So we developed an overlay that has that water temperature and surface currents based on what's best for salmon as well. So we've got tuna and salmon, different overlays. And same thing, you can change the range, but if you just click that and have it on default, it'll show you that range that it's best for catching salmon. Yeah?
First of all, the interface is amazing, but is the data downloadable or filterable for like used for analysis privately?
Yeah, so the question was if the data is accessible and downloadable for your own use, and actually we do provide data up to 6 months. Most of we're housed at University of Washington is where our servers sit, and so we are limited, we can't archive data, but we
Okay.
have links to the ERDAP or to the data provider if you need older than 6 months.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
When we find the information we want on our home computer,
Yeah.
we hit print.
You absolutely can. You can hit print, you can make a screenshot. I will show you a way to save it as a link as well. There's a couple different ways to save it, yeah.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the screen, we see some, it looks like arrows and maybe some shading differences.
Yeah.
What exactly are we looking at there?
Good question. Here, I think if I go like, nope. So what you're looking at, the arrows are the surface currents and the color is the water temperature range. And so the surface current will give you the direction and the size of the arrow will give you an idea of the speed of the current. And then the water temperature will give you that range. Right now we're looking at like 42 degrees Fahrenheit to 53 degrees. But instead of trying to guesstimate that, you can just hover your mouse anywhere on the map and then you'll be given the exact temperature, current, speed, and direction.
So can you overlay that with chlorophyll?
We can't have multiple overlays, but I'm going to show you how to access that. And that's something we've heard a lot of. Yeah, Chad.
Is this based off of observation or models?
Yeah, really good question. Very good question. So this specifically is a forecast. So this product that we're looking at and all of these under forecast, those are modeled. But because we get so much data from so many different sources, those feed into our models, and so we're able to validate those models. And we have another tool that you can see how well it compares the observations in the models.
But you just compare it.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so that was tuna and salmon, water temperature and currents. We also, as was brought up, oxygen concentration at different depths, as we've started talking with a lot of crabbers, and I think we're gonna add salinity and water temperature at depth as well, because that's something I've been hearing from people that would be useful for them. But specifically the oxygen concentration, you're able to click oxygen concentration, and then you can click whether you want surface, any specific depth, or just hit bottom, and it'll extrapolate over the bathymetry and give you the oxygen concentration at the bottom where your crab pots are going to be. And then again, you can zoom in and out, hover on, and see what the actual concentration is at that location. Because I know crab have an optimal oxygen, but then there's also, if it's hypoxic, it's going to kill everything in your pot. And so really helpful to have that and be able to utilize the timeline at the bottom, click ahead, be like, oh, I need to pull out my pots before that hypoxic water comes in. Yeah?
You know the ideal concentration?
Yes, it was around 8 and 9. We just looked it up yesterday. It was like 8 and 9 is the ideal. We just did a Google search for it. But I should put that on. We do have an overview button here, which has links to the research that's been done for tuna and salmon and crab. All right, so here we're going to get a little more. The surface stuff is pretty straightforward. We know sea surface temperature and surface currents, but we've developed these new data products that give you a sense of what's happening at depth. So tuna really like to feed at an interface, the exchange of different water bodies, right? Because they're jumping from the green water to the blue water. They're sight hunters, so they're gonna hang out in the murkier, greener water, and then they're gonna shoot out and catch their bait prey, their bait fish, in the clear waters. So we can see what's happening at the surface with the water temperature and the surface current. So what if you get out, you go out 20 miles, whatever, you get out there, now what? Now we have these tools that give you a sense at the depth that water is changing. So peak incline tells you about the changing in water density, and thermocline tells you about where the water is 2 degrees colder than the surface. And with both of those, they give you a sense of where those different waters are converging. So you can use the surface data, the water temperature and currents, to tell you where to go out with your boat. Then you use these to help you dial in. Are you going to need to fish 400 feet down? You're not going to find any tuna 400 feet. They like to stay at the surface. So you're looking for the areas where the depth is less, where it's less deep, because you'll have a lot better chance of catching fish here closer to the surface than if it's 400 feet deep. So this is just additional tools to get you as much information as possible to try to zero in on where the fish are actually feeding. Where do you have the best chance of finding them and catching them? And these are complicated. It took me a while to wrap my head around that, but it's helpful to think about just giving you information on where different waters are converging, because at that interface is where you have the best chance of catching fish.
So Rachel, I can't read the colors. What's the colors?
Yeah, it's hard to read. So the purple is around 328 feet on this, and then the red is at 32 feet. So this is 167. And same thing, anywhere you hover on this, it's going to give you that. And again, this is winter, so there's not a ton happening right now, but when you're out fishing, hopefully it'll be a little more clear. And again, this is giving you the depth. This is not telling you what the density is. It's not telling you what the temperature is. It's telling you the depth where that water is changing and the depth where the highest chance of catching fish is. All right, same thing, you can change your color bar. Okay, here we go. So this is the chlorophyll. So using the legend on this side, up top we had some forecasts. If you scroll down, you can see remote sensing and different satellite data. So right now I have chlorophyll 3-day composite selected. So chlorophyll is from satellite. Satellite images are from NASA. It takes NASA a day or two to make those satellite images public. So anytime you're looking at any satellite data, it's always going to be a day or two old. That's just nature of satellite data. Also, it's cloud dependent. So depending on what's going on, it might be really spotty. So we use these composite images, so multiple days, and you can see on the timeline what days the composite is made of. And it just gives you an idea of what's the trend of the chlorophyll over those few days. And so you can use that with the water temperature and surface currents to try to dial in where are the bait fish, where are the salmon or the tuna feeding. Something I hear all the time is how can we merge these two overlays together, and we've tried it a bunch of different ways and we've not made it work in a useful way. It just gets so messed up and kludgy and impossible to read. So if you guys have any ideas, we would love to hear it, because I know it's something that would be really useful to overlay as much information as possible. But as of now, what works for me, oh yeah, so here's the difference. So here's a 3-day composite. Let me show you this first. And there's the 14-day composite. And so because of holes in the data due to cloud cover, individual or lower day, you won't get as much information as a multi-day composite. So, before I go into the dot and the routing, I want to show you about these model plots. These can be really useful. These are more static, not the big map, but this is model forecasted chlorophyll and surface currents. So this is the chlorophyll and surface currents in one place, and then also the sea surface temperature and currents. So another way, just an additional tool to try to figure out how to make it as easy as possible to merge that data together.
What is that previous slide where you had the chart there on chlorophyll? What's it telling us?
Right here, these are,
Just the,
oh, here. It's the chlorophyll megs per cubic meter, so 0.03 to 30. So it's just the red is going to have a higher, the more warm red and yellow is higher chlorophyll, and so that's,
what is that?
chlorophyll is food for the bait fish. Yeah, it's plankton.
So it's how not clear the water is.
Exactly.
Closer
So the
to
green
the
water.
lemons are clearer water,
Yeah,
whereas the yellows, oranges, and reds are
the green water.
Yeah, your green water.
Yeah.
When I first took this class, it kind of said, okay, here's a suggestion, and Terrapin does the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what you pay for with those products, is they're doing a lot of extrapolation that we're a nonprofit not
So they
doing.
say, try to find your highest chlorophyll level and your warmest temperature and where they bump together.
Where they bump together.
And I know it's worked, because I've seen it. But I thought there's a function somewhere in there
Yeah.
that you can put your finger on it and get the GPS coordinates to that.
Yes,
You just hover over.
you just hover, sorry, let me go back. Anywhere you hover your mouse, the Latin long will pull up here. Yeah,
Okay, so if I got a touch screen, I just hover.
you just, yep, just hover over that and it'll pull up on, up here,
And
exactly.
most of the time I work off of what most Oregon kingfishers know about Four Corners. And you go to that point and see if those are possible. If not, you gotta work
You
off
gotta
of
kinda
that area.
Tweak accordingly.
I realize I made a mistake in not knowing that.
And that's what I'm here for. There's constantly new information being added, yeah. So that's why I come every year and try to show you guys what's new, hear from what you need, yeah. All right, so here, again, it's just talking about the satellite data being a day or two old, because that's when NASA makes it available for us. All right. Okay, there's also forecasts for safe navigation. Oh yeah, of course.
One a comment and one a question.
Yes.
I need you on my board.
I know.
The terrain map.
Yeah.
How much can you?
How much can you shrink it in? Pretty I can show you, but it's Google Maps, so our limit is Google Maps limit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, on the subject of Latin waterlines, and I was playing with this yesterday on settings, but it's got like the degrees and then a 4-digit number.
Yeah.
And then when you go to degrees, minutes, and seconds, it's not in the same format that it's used to.
Is that you? Okay. I was like, what's me? Okay, so there's a way to change that, and Charles Luce brought this up yesterday. We're gonna have the default change when you open the Fishers app to be thank you, degrees, minutes,
You can
seconds.
go to degrees, minutes, and seconds, but then on the
But
bottom
it's
is a 3-digit number.
Exactly. And so that can be changed. You can change that in settings, but because we heard from so many people, we're gonna have that be default for this app. As soon as I get back to Seattle tomorrow and talk to that guy, it'll change really quickly. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we also have weather and sea surface conditions. We have winds and waves coming from a number of different sources. Unfortunately, right now, the X-tide, the data that we are getting our winds and waves from, is not talking to NVS. So if you go right now, there's nothing up there, but our team is working on getting that to talk. And that's one of the challenges of collecting data from so many different sources. Whenever servers are updated, something gets updated, sometimes we lose that connection and then we have to go in and rebuild it. So just FYI, if you go on winds and waves right now, not working, but we are working to get it going. Okay, we also have the dynamic NOAA nautical charts. You just click nautical charts and it'll pull up. And as you zoom in, you get more detail. These are just the ones that NOAA makes available online that we've just brought into NVS. We also have this routing capability, and this is how I make like a waypoint. And I use that a lot when it makes it easier for me to flip between different overlays. Instead, I wish I could have all these overlays open at once and then look. We don't have a way to do that yet, but what we do have is this routing capability. Hit new route. Anywhere you click on the map creates a waypoint. So you can just do that. You can do one point. You say, ooh, you're looking up this water temperature and currents, and you're like, I really like that spot. I'm gonna click that. Now what's chlorophyll happening there? And you can go in and click all the other overlays, and that point will stay visible. And so it's just an easy way for you to pinpoint that location. And you can click and drag these waypoints, you can change them. If you hover on it, it'll give you the distance of segments, it'll give you the bearing, it'll give you the lat and long with the specific waypoints. If you have a specific lat and long, you can type that in here, you can download these routes. There's just a lot of different ways you can use these, but I mostly use it as creating a specific waypoint. That makes it easy for me to visualize the different overlays. And then if I'm like on the water temperature and currents and I make a waypoint and then I go to chlorophyll and I'm like, ooh, I want to tweak it a little bit, I click and drag. So that's the main way I use it, but there's a lot of different capabilities. And you can download a couple different formats. You can have all of the overlays, the routing capability stays visible when you open other overlays. Okay, and this is that share my view. This is a relatively new feature. You spend all of this time, you get the map looking just how you want, you have the overlays you want, everything's set just so. Go to share my view, click that button, it creates a link. That link gets saved. If you have created a login and you're logged in, it'll save all of these. Or you can copy and paste that. Anytime you use that link, it'll repopulate the screen to look exactly how you have it. So it's a great way.
So it's time dependent.
It is, but you can change it. You can change if you want it to, where is my, I think it's selected layers, map view, selected model, platform. This might be old. There's also a way you can make it time dependent or not time dependent just by clicking the box. Yeah.
Do you have any facts on there or any way to determine what the
something we've been wanting to do. We've not figured out a good source for bathymetry layers, especially like substrate composite. It's something we've been wanting to add to this for years. We've not figured out a good source, but just talking to someone, Charles Luce, Ocean Coach, introduced us yesterday, and he thinks he has a good source. So I'm going to connect him with my team and hopefully find a way to add that, because it's something that we hear a lot.
In the near future, or?
There, I hope. So I'm hoping near future. It depends on how accessible it is and how easy it is for us to add it. And if it's actually available. It's all hearsay right now. I've not looked at it. Okay, so this is just a great way to like bookmark your map, your location. And if you create a login, create a username, password, and if you're logged in, it will save all of these bookmarks for you, all of those links. And then that login is up here. So like I said, you could also change the settings, but we are gonna have it set to default with the minutes as you guys like. And then there's a comment feature. For some reason, it's not on right now, but it's normally there, and I'm gonna get it fixed. So we really rely on this. This sends a message directly to me, to Jan Newton, our director, and to Troy Tanner, our user product chair. And we utilize these. This is how we make these products better for you. So if you're ever playing around on NVS, you have questions, something doesn't make sense, you wish you saw something that's not there, send me a message, because this is our bread and butter. We really rely on these. Or send me an email, come and see me. And yeah, I'm here every year. And this is on our main website. If you just go to nanoos.org, we have videos. Charles Luce and I gave a webinar last year, which walked through a lot of these capabilities. I did my little song and dance for 20 minutes or so, and then Charles came on and talked about how he used it, and then we had a Q&A. So it's an hour-long video, but that is available. The recording of it is on our website, so it's a great way. This one, the NVS Fishers, that's the one that I did with Charles, and then there's a shorter video that goes into like the peak no climb, like just the specific tuna. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's Charles and I last year giving a webinar, and that's my email. So please reach out.